Blessings. Today, I would like to speak to you about the storage. What are you storing in your life, in your heart, in your behavior, in your actions, in your history? Are you walking around with the storage you created on your own? When we look at Job 38, 22, 23, it talks about behavior, war, and battle. Also, when we look at Matthew 6:19, we look at materialistic things. The Word of God says, "Do not store up for yourself treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be." We also look at Luke 12, 15, 21. It talks about greed. When we look at selfishness in the same Word of God in Luke 19, 20, 23, and also about our actions in storing things in what we do in Matthew 19, 21. It also talks about our behavior, the things that we store, in the way we act, in the way we see things. And Luke 12, 33, 34 talks about also being conceited and also not doing the things that God feels happy about. And we store those things in our heart. So, what are we really storing in our heart? When we look at First of Timothy 6, 17, 19, it talks also about iniquity in Hosea 13, 12 as well. And also when we talked about what are we really treasuring? Are we treasuring the Word of God, or are we storing things in our behavior and our actions that we shouldn't be storing? So I also looked at the positive things, because the Bible also talks about storing wisdom. For example, in Proverbs 2, 7, it talks about the wisdom, storing the love of God, storing the fruits of the Spirit. In Psalms 104, 13, talks about keeping in our heart the love of God, and also the fruits of the Spirit, such as having the waters of the sea in our heart, and not keeping or storing things that do not, go with what the Word of God says. So I think these things are very important, and it really touched me when it talks about also being healthy and also keeping honor, in what we do for God. When we looked at Proverbs 3:19, it talks about that honoring God, and also giving to others, and having like a giving spirit and a loving spirit, and treasuring those things, because that's where our heart is. So today, I ask you again, what are you storing in your life? Are you storing treasures from heaven, or are you storing, the things that we normally do, such as material, greed, selfishness, actions, iniquity, conceited, and those sort of things. So this is like a reflection, and I feel that I really like it, and I want to know, what is it that you're really storing? Are you storing love? Are you storing, what the Word of God teaches to do? What are you really storing in your life, in your history, in your walking around? You know, what are you storing right now? Is it a storage that you created on your own, full of material things that you don't know when are you going to enjoy it, or if you are going to enjoy it? Or are you treasuring what is really important, which is the Word of God, and doing what but the commandments and the Word of God teaches what to do. I would like to reflect on this Word of God that we are putting in this message today, and that you comment and let me know if you like it, and we can respond to you. Have a blessed day.